Alright, what's going on, guys? So today we have the ultimate guide to Mauer der Toten. This is going to be the most comprehensive tutorial to get you on your feet in the newest round-based zombies map from Treyarch. This video is going to go over a lot of the fundamentals to get you started in Mauer der Toten. So this is going to go over how to turn on the power, get Pack-a-Punch, explain the wonder weapon system, which is a completely new and unique system that we've never seen before in zombies, but we'll get into that in a bit. Also, we're going to go over a really little Easter egg that can help you get a little bit further along in this map, potentially getting a free wonder weapon and really tons of other goodies as well. Anything main Easter egg related will be saved for a separate video. You can think of this one as the starter's guide if you just want to jump in, shoot zombies, and just play the map, but if you want to do the full main Easter egg, you can check the link in the description. I'm going to be updating it as soon as the map gets solved and I'm able to put out a guide for it. So after you watch this one, if you want to go ahead and take it a step further and do the Easter egg, look in the description and use that video and you should be able to get done no problem. If you enjoyed this video though, please make sure that you do drop a like. That would be amazing, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Right now, around 80% of my viewers are not currently subbed. We are barreling towards 500k, and every single new one is greatly helpful, so thank you very much. But without further ado, let's get started. As soon as you spawn into Mauer der Toten, you're going to be greeted with two objectives as you spawn on the apartment rooftop. Kravchenko is actually going to be the announcer and essentially who's talking to us in this, but you need to go to one of these two objectives, and they're going to be led through by zip lines and rappels. Those are going to be one of the more primary ways that you get around the map. Now, in your game, while you will have two potential objectives you can go towards, you really only need to go towards one. At the end of the day, they're going to end up at the same place. So you and your team, or just you, pick a route and then commit to that one. If a zipline happens to be red and it's like off, you have to turn the power on first. But in your first few rounds, it's pretty chill. You just need to kill zombies, gather as many points as you can, and then go all the way down, keep buying doors till you get to the alleyway. And then once you go out of there, you're going to be in the East Berlin streets. This is where you now are very close to your objectives, and potentially you might get your first Tempest to spawn in. These are the only times these are going to spawn as far as I'm aware on this map so far, at least, but you need to kill one of the Tempests, and as soon as you do, you're going to notice a yellow object come out of it. This is going to be your first electrical fuse. You're going to need two of these, as your HUD shows. It's entirely possible that you get your Tempest pretty much back to back and you can kill them both pretty easily, but if you only happen to get one or you don't get any, don't panic. Just keep heading towards those objectives. You can either go down to the subway or you can open up this service passage and drop through from here. Now, once you're down below, it's honestly a little bit confusing as far as the layout, but you'll get used to it. Once you get into the middle where the ghost station is, the train is going to come by with zombies that are flaming and screams that make my skin crawl. You can think of the train area as essentially the divider splitting these two halves of the map up. It's a pretty big map all in all, but once you cross to the other side, you should be in the sewer access or on the adjacent side, but either way, still in the same vicinity. Now, once you get enough points, you can buy into the power room as it visually will show on your screen. Flip the switch, but you're going to notice the power doesn't turn on. This little grate opens up and pops out two dead fuses, and obviously one of the ones that need to be replaced in there is the one you got from the Tempest earlier. And if you head towards the marker that's left on your minimap after turning on the power switch once, that should take you to your second Tempest if you've not already killed them. But once you have that second electrical fuse, you can bring them both back into the power room. I do believe this is shared inventory, so that means anybody on your team, as long as one person grabs it, the other can transport it into the actual like service box that it needs to go in. But you'll put the electrical thing in the fuse box, flip the power switch again, because that's what we do in zombies, and once the power's on, the map, at least as far as its lighting, is going to dramatically change down here. This will make things like perks finally accessible. You already have access to the crafting tables and like wall buys and stuff, but at least perks you can now start buying once the power is on. Once you're down here, stay in the sewer and go to the sewer access location and go on the zip line that I just went on. You should come out in the West Berlin street, and then now you're going to go to the middle of town where the checkpoint Charlie is, and this is where the Pack-a-Punch machine is located. So you can see it's kind of like summoned into existence via these weird like ghost guys. You're gonna have this really strange red glow effect, and this means the Pack-a-Punch machine is locked. You need to interact with it, and then as soon as that happens, all of these zombies rituals are going to like actually initiate, and it's gonna spawn a few boss zombies. Now these are called disciples. These are the skeletons or demon demons that we saw in the trailer that were very strange. They work pretty interesting in this. Like, they can actually fly. They're not a grounded enemy, and they pretty much hover around. They can power up zombies, and you notice that the ones that are tainted with like this ethereal smoke or aura have a little bit more health, or kind of harder to kill. I'm not sure if they hit harder, but they definitely could. The disciples, though, are pretty chunky. I believe the weak point should be their face. Things like shotguns or anything relatively high powered should take them out no problem, though. You'll rinse out that first like little ritual, and then you'll be given access to the pack-a-punch machine. Now, while you're here, you might also notice that around these like sniper towers are these dig sites from Origins, or very similar to it, and you can dig these up to get parts for Klaus, which again we'll talk about in another video. These dig sites can give you scrap, ammo, maybe armor. You don't need a shovel for these. These can be interacted with from the get-go. Next up, I'm going to show you guys how to get the free Cerberus wonder weapon every single time, guaranteed in your game, just in case you need it for the Easter egg, or you just want a surefire way to obtain this weapon. First thing you need to do is get that satellite dish from the dig sites and kill your first panzer to get a battery. Once you have those two items, take the battery over to Klaus and you can insert it into his head. This will be one of the 3 components you need to actually activate him. The satellite beacon needs to go in this room on this machine that's shown here, and then once you've done that, you have those 2 components on. Get brain rot on your gun, kill a zombie in room 305. When it activates, the brain rotted zombie will tear down the barrier, revealing a secret room. You can go in here, collect intel, and you're also going to see that there's a safe on the right side. You also need to interact with Agent Jack. There's robotic hands around his neck, and these are going to be for Klaus, so you need to take these off, and then as soon as you've got the robotic hands, you can bring them over to Klaus, and you should have all 3 components at this point, assuming you've done that correctly. Once Klaus is built, activate him and take him to this locker inside of the switch control room with the 0 above it, and once you summon him there, then he will break open the locker, revealing another flashlight different to the one that you currently have. It'll be a black light instead. And now we need the combination for our safe. This is going to be the 3rd dial on the safe inside the grocery store. You can use the black light and go on the back of the shelf to reveal a number. I have 1 and 0 in this game, so basically just meaning 10 on the dial, and of course that's referring to the 3rd dial on the safe. The second one can immediately be found by jumping down into the service passage, and it's just on the left wall here. I have a 1, 2 in my game, so that's just going to end up being a 12. You might get different numbers in your game, and that's totally fine, but just make the, separated numbers into one numeral. The final number will be in the same room that you put the satellite beacon on that thing just behind you, and you can see the number 1 just above the ammo box. If you look just to the left where the chalkboard is, you will see that there is your final set of codes there, and that's 2-1 for me. So of course it's just going to go 1, 2, 3. You need to sequence your numbers exactly how you got them. You should only have 3. It's pretty easy to, it's pretty straightforward to do in game. You just enter those in respectively, and once you enter all of them in correctly, the safe should just pop right open, revealing a free Cerberus. It's pretty easy to do, and it's a really sick Easter egg, in fact. Again, this is probably the most reliable way to get it, guaranteed, but you can get it out of the box and or trials if you need to as well, or if other players in your game also want to attempt it. But this is a surefire 100% of the time way to acquire it. Next, I'm going to show you guys a neat little Easter egg. We're going to be attempting to build an entire ethereal bunny, and before you do this, I am going to strongly advise you at least pack a punch beforehand of doing this step. Preferably Juggernog as well, but you don't necessarily need to. But anyways, we'll be looking for a few different parts of a scattered out bunny around the map. First one can be located on a green table. If you go left immediately from spawn inside the Hotel 305 room, it will be on this green table next to this lamp and this flower pot. The second one you're looking for will be located in the bar near the Juggernog machine. This one's pretty easy to find after you go through the East Berlin streets. The next one can be found in the sewer access room. This one is pretty hard to see, but just look for this cardboard box over there in the corner by the hallway. The next piece you're looking for is right next to the Wonder Fizz machine. You need to go up a rappel for this one over in the department store, and it's going to be just on the shelf directly in front of you. Next part you can grab is in the alley, and this is just the teddy bear head. It's really easy to see just sitting, on the ground. And the final one you're looking for will be located in the grocery store on the shelf, and as soon as you've picked up that final one, assuming, that is the one, you should be teleported into the new location. And if you've played any of the previous maps on Cold War, you kind of know what's going on here. But we are now in a club, and this is by far the most intricate one of these little Easter eggs that we've seen so far in this game. With D-Machine, it was just a coffin dance Easter egg. You just wait around, the zombies dance around, and you get rewards at the end. You don't really got to do anything. In Firebase Z, you get teleported into like a dark forest, but you still got to shoot the teddy bear in order to get your rewards. In this one, it's a little bit more tricky. You have to survive 4 separate waves of enemies, and these enemies can range from anything that's been in Cold War previously. This means like Manglers, the Tormentors, which are a new enemy type in Mauer der Toten, which are these red explodey guys. Even Mimics can spawn spawn, which otherwise don't belong in this map. The only thing I really haven't seen as far as like other bigger boss enemies is a Megaton. But this is why I went ahead and recommended that you take in at least one Pack-a-Punched gun and, you know, preferably Juggernog. But once you've cleared all of the waves in this club, the little DJ, the teddy bear, is going to head out. He's going to stop spinning his tunes, and then these barriers, these ethereal barriers, will lift, and you can collect a reward on stage. There's 3 doors you can choose from. Obviously, you can only pick one. Now, I do think that some of these can give you a bad reward based on this calling card that's in the Mauer Toten challenges. I'm not really sure what's behind all of these. You might get a pretty random one every single time. You do have a time limit, so you have to be pretty quick about it, so don't delay too much. But I'm very curious to see what you guys get out of your doors. If you know, get something really special or really interesting, make sure to tweet it at me. Link to that's in the description. After doing that, however, one of the things you may have ended up with is a wonder weapon. If you didn't get the wonder weapon out of this teddy bear Easter egg, another very reliable way to get it, besides doing like a little quest for it, which again will be covered in a different video, probably one of the most straightforward ways you can get it is just literally out of the mystery box, or by doing a trial station, upgrading it fully to legendary. But if you are given this weapon, which is now called the Cerberus, then this has very unique features, we'll say. Virtually every map in Zombies has had like a system of wonder weapons, or at least when they do, there's a base variant, and then you have to do like little quests to upgrade to different variants. This one's pretty different, whereas the mod kits for the base variant literally just drop out of zombies as you kill them with it, and it can change the effect. Now, the thing about these mods is that they go over top of the gun, meaning if you run out of ammo in the mod that you're using, you will go back to the base variant, and then you can replace ammo in that. The mods honestly don't have that much ammo of their own, so you're going to be cycling through them quite a bit. Also, what you're seeing on screen right now is the new replacement for the dog rounds. These are, you know, Tormentor only rounds that are exclusive to this. They're pretty easy. The zombies are slightly fast and they do explode on death, but all in all, really not too hard to take care of. They're pretty light as well. Anyways, as far as the wonder weapons go, you have that base variant Cerberus, and then you have 3 separate ammo mods, or I guess actual variants that you can get of it. And again, it's literally just by killing enemies with the wonder weapon itself, and you should see this yellow drop on the ground. You don't necessarily have to pick them up if you don't want to, but obviously if you want to run them, you can. This one, the Seeker, actually is a like 2-shot burst, and if you aim down the sights, it can lock onto enemies with a very unique little effect. And then this other one is the Quintessence. I don't like this one that much. It's like a very wide pellet spread shotgun. It's pretty good just for like hip firing, but out of all of the variants, it's probably my least favorite. The reason I think this was done is to encourage you to use all of the different kinds of wonder weapons just as you're playing with it. You don't necessarily need to do all the quests for these. I believe they're going to move that legwork, or the quests that you would have done to upgrade these wonder weapons are going to be different steps, but just as substantial in the main Easter egg itself. But the wonder weapon is actually quite straightforward to get in Mauer Toten, and I don't imagine many of you guys are going to have problems getting along with this gun. At least for me, by far the best version of this weapon is literally just the base variant. Other than that, I think I like the laser the best. The Seeker shot is pretty good, but other than that, I think just the base Cerberus is probably going to be your best for overall firepower. It looks super cool with the orbiting ball that goes around it that shoots with you. Regardless of what you think of the wonder weapon, you have to admit that this system for upgrading them and just the way that they affect in general are pretty unique. Zombies has never seen this before, so definitely have to give them some credit for that. But if you've made it up to this point in your game where I am in this video, at this point you've pretty much got free reign to do whatever you like. You can just continue to keep playing and play for high rounds, upgrade guns, things like that. You can try and build Klaus. If you want to do the main Easter egg, again, check the link in the description. As soon as that is ready, it will be updated, and you guys can watch the full guide over there, you know, and get your bearings on the map, and then go and take on the main quest. But I know it's been a kind of long time since we had a round-based map, and I would imagine many of you were maybe a bit out of the loop, and hopefully this helped you get back on your feet pretty easily and just explained everything nice and concise. If you guys did enjoy, please make sure to give the video a like rating. That would be wonderful. Subscribe if you're new to the channel before you go. I also have plenty more Zombies content coming your way. Also, if you want to catch me streaming the Easter egg hunt, I'll be streaming that over on Twitch. Live stream Zombies almost every day over there, so you want to come hang out and say hello, I highly encourage you to do that. Links in the description. But hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Enjoy Mauer Toten, and I'll see you guys in the next stream or the next video. Take it easy. I gotta go, and peace out.